Salut, Forth Paladins, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus One. I'm Rear Admiral Tirok of the Dreadnought HMS Exile, as we continue our campaign against the Lyran Star Empire. And last time, we shattered the fortress of 2-4. Now, admittedly, that was not the plan, but it has been accomplished nonetheless. And so now the two planets here at 3-3 and 1-3 are possibly a little bit vulnerable. So, without further ado, let's head back home. Unfortunately, in the last mission, we ended up fighting, well, some pretty interesting enemies, which kind of did a little bit of a number on us. We're pretty badly dented right now. We need to go home, we need to get resupplied, and we desperately need to get our armor recovered, because as things stand, we are down a fighter squadron, if I'm recalling correctly. Yes, I am. So we're down a fighter squadron. We have no armor. We've used some spare parts, not a whole ton. Let's be honest with ourselves, it's not a ton. But we are being escorted today by the Rapier, who is also quite badly dented from the last battle, repairing his Phaser 1. Our enemy has shown up, and he is a light cruiser. Let us set a course and make sure that we overload our fusion cannons so that they will do as much damage as they can possibly get out of them. It's a very important thing for us to get done. Oh, we have a PT-2R, but that's a frigate, or a freighter. One of the armored freighter devices. Could be having twin missile launchers, but I'm gonna guess that it's 4 Phaser 3s. Not positive on that, though. It is an R refit, so they could be 4 Phaser 1s, in which case that becomes a much more potent ship. It's not insanely impressive or powerful, but it's not terrible at all. So let's make sure that we go in here with our electronic countermeasures just in case. We don't want to enter into a fight without actually being prepared for it. And then also buff up the forward shield to some level that will take just any incoming fire we want and send it right back at the enemy. And now we can start sapping the shield budget as we start getting up into speed, down to 1.5 points of power in the forward shield, but I think that should be fine. Distance 62, yep, probe. I'm anticipating 2 disruptors, 2 expanding sphere generators, and 6 Phaser 1s, 2 Phaser 3s? That's my guess. HCWF, he is... No, 4 disruptors, not 2, and he's only got 5 Phaser 1s, 4 Phaser 2s, and 2 Phaser 3s. That's actually a considerably lot more firepower than I kind of thought that he would be carrying. So we may actually have to spend a little bit of time to worry about that. Probably not going to need to use the fighters, although it is quite clear. Yeah, he is a modernized, advanced, heavy war cruiser? Not sure how to describe that. HCWF. Well, to be fair, the Lyrans don't quite use the same designations as things like the Federation, who use basically real-world designations, DD, Destroyer, BB, Battleship, etc., etc. But we should be able to turn this destroyer inside out. It is the Marak Killer. Yeah, probably not. And let's just blitz him with everything we've got. Point blank range. That's it. We have enough firepower to annihilate a heavy war destroyer in one shot. And our little PTR2 buddy over here, or PT2R, send a probe. No reason not to. I don't anticipate him having any... Yeah, he's got less than I thought he did. He's got 2 AMDs and 2 Phaser 3s. Slow down. Let's just see if we can't recover the systems. If we were deploying fighters, this would actually be a bit of a problem, but thankfully, we have enough firepower on our own to keep them on board so that we don't actually have to risk losing them. Of course, the Rapier's missile launchers probably are not going to be particularly effective in this match, but I don't think they're going to need to be. After all, we are a heavy dreadnought at the end of the day. Nothing quite equates to the same thing. A little mine dropping there. Oh, he survived. Only did 37 damage to him. That actually kind of surprises me. Maximize the speed of time. We've got this guy. He knows it. We knows it. Everybody knows it. So we're just going to wait until the systems are all charged up. We'll fire. Yes, the fusion cannons. You don't really see us kill things with fusion cannons all that much. I mean, it happens on occasion, but it's not the primary way we annihilate things, so when you do it, it does feel pretty satisfying. I kind of wish there was a bit of more of a impact effect when they actually hit things, considering how big the beam is. But it's fine. 200 prestige is a reward and a tile taken. Excellent. Oh, whoops. Wrong tile. Did not mean to come here. Surprise reverse, though. I will take that. Surprise reverse is an easy, simple mission. We shouldn't need any help with this one. If we have help, that's just great. But should be able to do an easy pickup of 300 prestige before we head back home. So, not a terrible detour. We're dealing with a frigate, a frigate, a frigate, a frigate. Oh, no, that was a heavy cruiser. Lying. You are a DW? DWV? A D5W. DW5? It's basically a D5. They added in an additional nacelle underneath it just to give it a little bit more power. It's a souped-up D5. And I'm just trying to remember what... Oh, I can check the fleet screen. Duh. We're looking an MDW, that was it. I knew there was a W somewhere in there, and I also knew there was a D in there somewhere. I forgot that the M was at the front. It is an MDW-X, so it is a small X refit, capable of using Phaser 1s, well, not Phaser X's, even more powerful than Phaser 1s. We're just going to kick up to maximum speed here. We're not going to bother overcharging the fusion cannons. We're basically just need to get in on top of them, and then we'll deploy our fighters. We'll just open fire with everything we've got. Pardon me. Maximize speed time, and we will get right on target as soon as we can. And all the rest are just frigates, so they might be packing AMDs, which would suck because we would have to actually deal with that. The Klingons actually do make a good use of a lot of point defense systems to fight against fighters and missiles. So, ooh, we came in from this strike position. Alright, it is an E3Y. That's an escort. Although, oh wait, no, it's a bird of prey. Huh, interesting. Let's go kill the Brel. And go for the attack mode. Just outside the AMD range. They should be able to kill him. Ooh, there's only two of them, maybe not. I may have to call them home. This guy on the other hand, he's a straight up Mauler. Oh, that's why it's MDW. So, Mauler is our primary target. We're going to start to slow down. We're going to basically hit right on top of him and fire everything we've got. Range of 0 has been achieved. Oh, we can kill a heavy cruiser with just one pass. It's lovely. It's beautiful. Oh, they passed within point defense range of the Silent Hunter. Come on, fire your phasers. Annihilate them quickly. There you go. Did not kill him. That's unfortunate. Okay, but they did kill the AMD, so they're pretty fine where they are. You are probably the most powerful ship next in line. There is a gunship 4 over here, a G4R. Yeah, not particularly powerful. Not particularly powerful. Yeah, definitely you. So the Kakarot. We're going to focus on him with all of our phaser firepower. I anticipate he'll live. Even though we did 83 damage. We've got to check out who does not have an AMD. You don't have an AMD. You do have an AMD. So we're going to send the fighters off against these guys. Set them up to Hatak.
Roger, we're going in.
Wonderful. And we've managed to knock out one of his missile launchers and a couple of his phasers. He did not have an AMD to begin with anyway. Our Gatling phasers should be able to do it, but I'm going to slow down a little bit just to make sure we hit him with as many phasers as possible. And then we'll pass through to the G2R, which actually did not have an AMD? Or no, it had one. So, come on, phaser cycle. I want to be able to shoot everything. Lovely, Gatling phasers is able to take care of everything for us. Fighters are low. We're going to call them back home. So, return to us. So, the explosion of the previous unit, and also because they do have point defense phasers. As you can see, this phaser 2 is currently on the recharge. So, please get out of range of that phaser 2. I think you're going to make it good. And increase the speed time since we're just chugging along to get next to this G4R. All weapons are prepared. Just to warn you, buddy, a heavy cruiser wasn't able to take on what we were about to throw out. Oh, every single one of those Hellbores didn't hit. Oh, how sad. So just the G2R, he has a single AMD, a pair of Phaser 2s, and a pair of missile launchers. This used to be one of my more coolest concept ships for me, because it made me think of a big fighter, and I couldn't fly fighters in this game. This was way back when I was much younger. Alright, so a successful surprise reverse will of course net you 300 prestige, always a nice little pickup to grab, and then we'll head home and hopefully repair, rearm, and maybe grab a BBX. I don't know if they'll be out yet. 2289. Supply, our ship is worth 2,000. We do not get a great return on investment here. Hey, that's an Iron Chancellor. Oh no, it's not. It's an Iroquois Chieftain new command cruiser. We're not quite interested in. What we are interested in are Monarch battleships, because we're pretty much there at this point. We have made it to that level where we can afford them. So let's go up to Dreadnoughts. There's Magmiar, Medium Dreadnoughts, Iron Chancellors, Iron Jukes. Iron Chancellor, of course, has the most phasers ever, and it's hilarious. Or fighters ever. The Lieges, no. Wait, was that it? No, that was our Monarch battleship. 12 fighters versus 20 fighters. You lose 2 Hellbores off of it. As someone had been pointing out that they think that the Monarch cruiser would be the way to go. So, 20 fighters. That's a lot of fighters. We're only losing 4 Hellbores. And we're maintaining the exact same phaser, or shield armament and phaser armament. Pardon me, there's just been something trying to crawl in my throat all day. I think that will work out quite nicely. I really do. Total engine power 78, total engine power 78 minus 2. We're probably going to go for the Monarch battleship carrier. You kind of have to when you think about it. We are the I was about to say we are the Marach. No, we are the Hydrons, and so clearly we have to specialize into fighters like that. We're probably going to keep with the Hornets. I like Hornets unless there's a version that's even better than Hornets that stacks even more disruptors, or Hellbore cannons, in which case we would probably lean over to that. So a nice little refit cycle there, dropped just below 8,000, or 9,000. Cannot speak today. And we're going to set back into space. What is the pressure? 25 is what we're putting down on this planet. Empire Defense, hopefully we'll be able to blast onto it. A shipyard assault, because we've been having just way too much fun lately, and we need to tone it way back. Alright, so 2 battle stations. We have a heavy cruiser and a dreadnought, so that's clearly our escort. And the Devourer. What are you? You are a BCV, so a battle cruiser carrier. So a Marak battle cruiser carrier is just going to be spitting out missiles left, right, and center. Unfortunately, he's only got 5 missile launchers, which is really crap for a Marak vessel. Like, incredibly crap. He is an NMC whatever, it doesn't really matter. Our focus is, of course, on the Dreadnought, which is a DNT, which I believe is Dreadnought Tender. We need, of course, to overload the fusion cannons. This is going to be an actual straight-up fight on things. Get the forward shield to whatever level of reinforcement it can stand. And then, let's not forget, electronic countermeasure. Just throw every point of power you got into it. And if you say the mantra enough times, you will remember it and not forget it in the middle of the most important missions. We now have shield power, which we can steal from, so we can actually travel forward. Well, we could kill him. I mean, that is an option. And that will reduce his support. I think we do it. Oh, wow, Mauler. Did not realize you were Mauler. So we took that. And then this. Wow. Problems. Problems around. So that did not go as well as expected. Let's go shield reinforcement. So we no longer have any forward shield reinforcement because we managed to kill ourselves. So a clever Mauler and a rather stupid approach by us. A couple of interceptors, but I don't really care if I'm completely honest. I'm only seeing a couple of fighters from the Devourer, which is a little bit light. He probably should be more aggressive on that. The fighters are currently screwing with the Burning Claw. The DNT we can basically handle with mostly our fighters. He is packing a whole ton of pseudo-frigates, though. DNT is 4 expanded sphere generators and an additional 6 disruptors. So not the biggest disruptor complement I've ever seen, but he's working on it. He's trying. And we're just going to steadily work our way out to the outside of this conflict. Increase the speed a little bit more. I don't want to get too close to you because you can bump me, and I do not want to play bumper cars with you right now. And phasers. Let's go have phasers. Phasers, thank you. There we go. Okay, pseudo-frigates have been taken care of, so he no longer has his pseudo-frigates defensors. And I didn't have an opportunity to... Well, I had the opportunity. I didn't have the quickness of thought to nail that DNT from behind. More speed. What am I looking for? I'm looking for an NMCF because he's basically screwed, or do I want to turn it on the Dreadnought? I think I want to just take away his ability to do multiple things at the same time, and the easiest way to do that, well, is to kill him. So, Hellbore cannons are almost ready. How much power do I have in that forward shield? I don't think any. 1.5 points of power, so it's enough to basically do nothing. What are you? Well, I know what you are, but what are you doing? So he is working on the outside of a turn. So I'll just ignore him for a second while I go after this Mauler, who could really honestly take my lunch, as he's about to do. Select 4. Everything else. Okay, you don't often do the long-range shots like that, but on occasion it proves very useful. Alright, so now that we've dealt with him, which probably has, well, cost us quite a bit of power, we still have our fusion cannons. Well, 4 of our fusion cannons. So I could fire the portside carronades. I'm gonna wait, though, see if he gets a little bit closer. It is an open shield, though. We are maneuvering, though, to get on his stern. Position that we should be able to take quite nicely, actually. Gotta slow down a little bit. See who's out-turning who. It really kind of feels like we're out-turning each other. So drop a single mine, see if that pushes him away. It did, lovely. And I'd like to get Hellbores on target, but we're another turn and a half away from having those available. So we'll continue... Wow. We'll continue to follow him as best as we can. And hopefully get a Hellbore shot, honestly. I don't want to launch the fighters just yet, but if I set them in harass mode, that may be the best way to go. So get them to fight at long range so they can avoid the disruptor fire and the expanding sphere generator. And our Hellbores are half turn, a little bit more than that, away from being able to be ready. Fighters have deployed and are ready to go. We have a shield that we know that we're going to be focusing on. And we're in a good position to do something about it. Come on, Lies. Do something about it. Alright, so we've knocked that down. Check on you. Which one are you? Yeah, you're coming home. get back on board the ship. So we did a nice little run. We've knocked out half of his shielding, and while we don't have a forward shield, that's fine. Ooh, 3 of 4 hits with the Hellbore cannons. And we're going to see if we can't pull on through. He's going to get a shot on us, unfortunately, if he wants to, which he does not, apparently. Okay, I'm good with that. And call all fighters home? No, he still just hasn't got home yet. Every weapon fire right now. See if you can't stun it, because he's about to go full ESG on us. So we're taking quite a bit of damage on this one, unfortunately. Phasers should be up shortly. Hey, it looks like the Devourer finally decided to get back in this fight. So we're going to do a nice little raking pass of phasers on our way through. And he's trying to duel with the Raker, but it's not really going out as well as he'd think it was. So we'll start working around to his stern again. He has lost pretty much all of his ESGs except for the one. His disruptors, well, 1/3 of them have been destroyed. More missiles incoming. He really has to rely on his tractor beams, which I think he still has. It's a little bit to make out on the Hydran setup. All weapons select because we're coming in for this last one. Slow down. Slow down more. I'd like to get more power to the forward shield. And we're fully repaired. Well, not fully repaired, but anything broken is working. And the Hellbores ought to be able to do it if he doesn't manage this incoming. Wait for it. Didn't have to do it. Okay, good. Let's see if we can actually call our buddy home.
Returning now.
Let's see if they'll actually do it, or if they'll just freak out about it. And we'll maximize speed time. So we'll reset the ship, get everything ready to rock, send a probe. Figure out exactly how bad these Stardocks need to be taken out. LFRD. Okay, they're Lyran Star Empire. Who cares? It will be a piece of cake. They have phaser 2s. And then of course they have the ESG if you get within a range of 3. But as long as you stay outside that range, which we can do, it's completely helpless. I think I mentioned in the last episode when we took out that starbase that as long as you don't have to get close to your enemy, then you probably have... Allow me to restart this sentence. If you're in installation, the ESG is the worst possible weapon system you could have as your primary heavy weapon system. So we are at full power. How much forward shield power? 3 points. We need to sap that a little bit, although I do want to get here relatively close. We'll pull into a parking orbit and we'll just start shelling him. Hopefully we can take him out without too much trouble. We might even be able to launch our fighters to just sort of screw around with him. They don't have an AMD. They don't have a D-type plasma torpedo, so it's much easier than fighting a Romulan Stardock, which has both of those weapon systems. Well, the plasma torpedo and the plasma D, which is very, very dangerous to fighters. Let's just pull up here to parking orbit. Get me within my range of 5, because that's when things start actually working. He will have basically an infinite number of tractor beams. Not quite, but it feels like it. Okay, so he's lost his shield, 22 damage was dealt on through, and he's steadily taking more and more fire, because the disruptor fire from the BCV is actually starting to get in. Gonna have to wait a little bit for this phasers to recycle. Phasers have cycled, lovely. And I could launch my fighters, but I think I've got him mostly handled soon. So we're just gonna wait here at low power. And fail to bore through. But that's just... Actually, I'm not quite sure why I failed to bore through on that one. So Devourer almost has this one. Actually, we could probably get closer now that he has no defensive systems whatsoever. Stardocks, you are tough. Get within 3 and we'll use the Gatling phasers. Lovely. Next Stardock, please. It's just one in a systematic assumption, or systematic destruction. Increase the speed. We'll start zapping the shield budget. We'd like to get this battle over somewhat soon. The problem with Stardock battles. If there were, like, more activity going on or something, I'm really not sure how to fix these fights. And heads up. That doesn't happen very often. Let's slow down, make sure that we don't get too close. We don't want him to be able to use his ESGs against us. Forward shields are in a very nice spot. They're backed up to their bright blue. They're very happy to be where they are. And we're going to pull right on up to it. And then stop just outside of range. And we knocked out one of the side shields, but not the forward shield. But we can whittle them down. Hey fighters, go on a harass mode. Just blitz them with your Hellbores. Yeah, like that. Just like that. Just all kinds of continuous Hellbore fire going down on them. Ooh, not able to actually penetrate that shield. That's moderately hilarious considering it's not all that big. Had to wait for the phasers to actually cycle and do their job. So the fighters, I believe, should have one more Hellbore pass? Because the fighters have a certain amount of ammunition with heavy weapons, and then once they've expended that, they need to reload back at the mothership. I get the feeling, oh, because they have an attack shift of 2. Because they've emphasized completely their defensive setup. Come back home, guys.
Returning now.
Get back to the ship. Oh, they destroyed a dry dock before me. That seems wrong. Good, the shipyard is no more. We have annihilated all of the enemy dry docks as well as their facilities. Although we did mention that we did need to start attacking their dry docks to weaken them a bit. So this will go a little bit towards that. I don't know if these missions actually have any effect on that. The only thing I know that has an effect on that is how much economy you have. 450 prestige. The Empire defense is down to 20. Stopping back home. Hi, shipyard. We are looking for an MNV, preferably an MMVX, but those are not out yet, so just an MMV, I suppose. May want to wait a couple of years before the MMVXs actually come out so that we can get the best version of the ship. Fighters are fine. We did use up a couple of spare parts. We also lost some armor and a mine. Alright, we're fully kitted out. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tirek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I list one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment. I will see you all in the next episode.